The government hiding things and lying to us? What? No, I am shocked. This is shocking. Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. I'm your host Emily and today we're counting down our list of the top 10 secret prisons around the world the government is hiding from you. Coming in at number 10 is Salt Pit, Afghanistan. Salt Pit is a secret CIA-run prison in Afghanistan. It is one of the several prisons that were set up by the CIA after the September attack in New York and was intended to hold people suspected of having links with radical criminals. The torment of prisoners happened every day in Salt Pit, and prisoners were often subjected to inhumane punishments and conditions, including mock executions. Its cells are small and without windows or toilets, and due to this, the prisoners have to relieve themselves in a bucket. Inmates are also stripped naked and made to sleep on cold concrete floors. CIA operatives always kept loud music playing as a form of psychological torture. Now, Dr. Garrett Bahir, who was held at the prison for 6 months, revealed that the CIA interrogators tied him to a chair and sat on his stomach. Another, Gul Raham, who later died in custody and remains the only verified death at the prison, experienced more violent punishment. He was stripped naked, his hands chained over his head while he was repeatedly beaten and drenched with buckets of water. Gul died of hypothermia on the morning of November 20th, 2002, and the CIA did not return his body to his family or inform them of his. Now, beginning in April 2021 until the final withdrawal of US troops from Afghanistan, large sections of the Salt Pit were demolished by the departing personnel before the Taliban gained control of the site. Number 9. Camp 7, Guantanamo Bay. Camp 7 was built in a hidden location away from the main prison. Camp 7 was so carefully hidden that no one knew of its existence for 2 years after it opened in 2006. Now, Camp 7 was home to 15 prisoners the CIA considered high-value detainees. One was Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who was seen as the mastermind of the September attack. The CIA has been accused of mistreating the prisoners, and when its existence was revealed, journalists were not allowed to visit. The Red Cross was allowed in on the condition that it never publicly speak about what it saw. One of its inmates, Razmi bin al-Shia, complained that his cell always vibrated and made some strange noises. Now, the US military denied all accusations of psychological torture and claimed he was just hearing things, but in 2014, the Pentagon confessed that he was hearing real noises, but said it was the result of the prison falling apart. Number 8. The Resort, North Korea. Inmates at the resort aren't radical criminals, but blacklisted relatives and officials of the North Korean oligarchy. It's located just 30 miles away from the Chinese border, and the resort is believed to hold up around 1,000 people. It has so many inmates because prisoners will often move in with their families. Now, while heavily guarded, it does not look like a prison, but more like a small town. Prisoners do not try to escape since the living conditions aren't bad. They don't perform any hard labor or endure any additional punishment and get free cooked meals every day. Kim Sung-ae is one of the people suspected of being held at the resort. She used to be the second wife of the late president Kim Il-sung. Another suspected prisoner is the aunt of the current president Kim Jong-un. She's the wife of Jang Song-taek, who was taken to the resort after her husband was executed in December 2013. But for North Korea, these conditions seem a little too good to me. Number 7. Cat's Eye, Thailand. Cat's Eye was a secret CIA prison in Thailand, and it could still be active today since no one knows its precise location. Everyone agrees that it is in Thailand, and even though the CIA and Thai government deny its existence. Cat's Eye was exposed in a 2014 US Senate report in which its location was listed as country redacted. Now, the prison was hurriedly set up in 2002 to hold Abdul Zuba, who was suspected to be one of bin Laden's henchmen. Abdul was picked up in Pakistan in March 2002, and the CIA was confused on where to keep him. They wanted a place far away from US jurisdiction and the Red Cross, so they built Cat's Eye. For several months, he was the only inmate held there, and he lived inside a box that was no bigger than a coffin and was continuously waterboarded until he fainted. CIA used him to test out several of their enhanced interrogation techniques. Cat's Eye's second prisoner was Abd al-Rahim al-Narshi, who arrived there in November 2002. Both prisoners were frequently slapped, stripped, deprived of sleep. Cat's Eye was reportedly shut down in December 2002 after the CIA moved the inmates to another block site in Poland, but who knows if they're secretly still active today. Number 6. Temara Interrogation Center, Morocco. The Temara Interrogation Center was a secret prison jointly operated by the CIA and the Moroccan government. The facility originally opened as a CIA-run secret interrogation center following the September 11th attacks. However, the CIA soon turned it into a prison, but was more interested in detaining political prisoners. Zakaria Momi, a French-Moroccan citizen who was held there for 4 days for political reasons, said his Moroccan interrogators told him he slaughterhouse and that he would leave in pieces. Another, Usama Buttar, who fought with the Bosnia-based Islamist Matilla group in the 1990s and in 2003, said the Moroccans told him that they were torturing him because the Americans told them to. Now, a report by the US Senate revealed that the CIA knew Morocco was torturing prisoners at the facility. The CIA complained to the Moroccan intelligence agency, but the complaint only destroyed the relationship between the CIA and the Moroccan government. The CIA also planned on abandoning the Temara site for another prison, but later changed its mind. Now, on the other hand, Morocco denies all accusations of torture, but I think they're both guilty. Number 5. Camp Lemonnier, Djibouti. Let me start off by saying that Djibouti is a small country. Now, the strategic location of the small nation is the reason the US established a military base on its soil. From the base called Camp Lemonnier, the US launched drone strikes against targets in Somalia and Yemen. There are also unconfirmed claims that the CIA operates a secret prison at the base. The US Congress reportedly has information about the existence of the facility but has refused to declassify it. Mohammed Abdullah Sahil Assad was one of the inmates supposedly held in the prison. He said he was tormented there before he was transferred to another black site in Afghanistan, where he was also mistreated. Mahdi Hashi, another supposed former prisoner, said he was taken to the prison after he was kidnapped by the CIA agents in Somalia. He claimed he was arrested because he refused to spy for British intelligence. Number 4. Gay prisons, Chechnya. Chechnya is a Muslim-majority autonomous region of Russia. They have their own head of state, Razman Kadyrov, who Russia leaves to do as he wishes. Kadyrov has been accused of running secret prisons where gay men are mistreated so badly that they end up dying. Russia and Chechnya do not tolerate gay people, and while Russia has introduced laws to keep gay people in line, Chechnya prefers abducting them and keeping them in secret detention centers. Now, some journalists who reported the existence of the secret prison in Chechnya have been found dead under suspicious circumstance. Novaya Gazeta, the first paper to report the kidnappings, detentions, and deaths, has seen at least 6 of its journalists die. Now, some of its living journalists are still being threatened, and others have even fled the country. Number 3. Black jails, China. The black jails are independent secret prisons illegally operated by various Chinese provinces and local government. Because of the governmental structure in China, citizens are expected to report any grievance to their local and provincial governments. Now, if they do not get justice, they are allowed to report to the central government at Beijing. Now, the central government itself uses the number of reports it receives to determine the effectiveness of the local and provincial government. Now, to avoid getting into Beijing's black books, the local and provincial governments employed over 10,000 people to hunt, kidnap, detain, and torture citizens who travel to Beijing to make reports. The prisons are usually unoccupied homes, psychiatric wards, and guest house. In 2009, it was suspected that the provinces operated 73 black jails inside Beijing. The central government initially denied the existence of black jails, but later confirmed that they were real. Number 2. Penny Lane, Guantanamo Bay. Penny Lane was another secret prison at Guantanamo Bay. Opened in 2003, the prisoners held there enjoyed a life of luxury. They lived in cottages complete with a very comfortable bed, kitchen, patio, shower, and television. And they could also request for additional luxuries. The fact that the inmates held in Penny Lane enjoyed a life of luxury shouldn't be very surprising, as the place was exclusively reserved for confirmed radical criminals undergoing training as double agents. After their training, they were released and allowed to return to their cells, where they sent inside information back to the CIA. Now, this information was used to prepare drone strikes against targets of interest. In exchange, the CIA gave the criminals millions of dollars in payment. The program was not a total success, though, as some of the criminals rejoined their cells and never reported back to the CIA. Now, some also became unwillingly double agents after the CIA threatened to harm their families. Due to all of this, the double agent program ended in 2006. Papa II, India. In the 1990s, Indian military and local guerrillas clashed in the Kashmir region of the country, and the soldiers' methods of finding an enemy could get pretty brutal. The ID parade involved rounding up the boys and men of the area and showing them one by one to masked informers. Whoever the informer pointed at was taken away, where they were often taken to an interrogation center, where they were tormented or had their lives ended without much delay. Now, if they were really unlucky, they were taken to the Papa II prison camp, which was a place you'd rarely walk away from. Now, a 19-year-old Muslim student named Masraf Sultan is one of the lucky people to survive Papa II. Now, after he was picked out in an ID parade for reasons he did not know, he was beaten up, blindfolded, and taken away for interrogation. Now, despite his instance that he was innocent, Sultan was stripped naked, beat up so badly that several of his bones broke. After that, they took the poor, nude, broken young man and threw him in a cell of the infamous Papa II, which was on an old estate of a local ruler. Sultan's time in Papa II was short, but that didn't make it any less painful. The guards threw cold water at him, attached metal rings on his genitals and both his feet, and administered electric shock. Finally, he was taken away to a nearby flood channel where a group of soldiers shot him several times. Miraculously, he survived, but he was paralyzed for the rest of his life. Though the soldiers of the India's border security force used the facility to interrogate and end the lives of thousands of people, it was actually just one of 7 similar centers in the region. Well, that's all for our list of the top 10 secret prisons around the world the government is hiding from you. Now, did you know about any of these prisons? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm your host, Emily, and we'll see you next time. Peace.